Hey y'all, welcome. Come one, come all. Thank you so much for joining our live stream. I am your host, SharionSade, and today we're going to be having a live stream as somewhat of a Sussex Squatty fellowship to just relax and enjoy a nice conversation from you to me to whoever wants to join about their super successful tour of Colombia. But before we get into the fun, I have a few quick announcements that I'd like to begin with, and then it's time to rock and roll. First, thank you so much for the Cash App to Lakiva McGee. I really appreciate the support. Also, I'd like to take a moment to thank those of you who have donated to the channel through super chats and super stickers during live premieres and live streams. This week, I want to take a moment to thank Corlita Simon, Sharon Augustine, Gracie Ifen-Wilby, and Black Queen, who is also a moderator and a Royal Court member. Thank all of you so much for your donations and your support. And of course, I have to thank all of our new members: Ms. Smith, Mamie Brown, Dawn Hansen, and Mary Daniels. Thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting the channel through memberships. Now, let's get into the live stream. Hi, y'all. Thank you so much for watching my live stream. Welcome. It's great to see everybody in the live chat. Can y'all hear me okay? Oh, wow. Everybody's here. Welcome to everybody. Oh, Black Queen says, I'm on a Sussex high as well as on the DNC high. Good times. Yes. It was so invigorating. The DNC, I was already just hyped about all the recent changes in this election. I was already there. But the DNC just got me re-hyped. Beyonce singing a cappella, Joe Biden. Oh my God. It was just a lot going on. But yeah. And then right on the heels of the Colombia trip, I feel like American Democratic squatties are getting really spoiled. And it's about time. We've been going through it. So we needed a break. It's been a long time since we've had everything line up just right. And so it's been nice. Okay, great. Y'all can hear me. It's so good to see y'all. Hey, Bright Eyes PBJ. It's good to see you. Karen M. Of course, Black Queen. I shouted you out in the announcement. Verta Sanchez. Queen Verta Sanchez. My bad. It's good to see everybody. And welcome Don Hansen, a new member. Thank you so much for joining a membership. It's great to see you guys. Oh, wow. Lulu Brown says, nice to catch a live. Hello, everyone. It's nice to have a live. It's been a while since I've had one. I'm still undoing or unpacking my office. I've just been doing like a box at a time, and you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to really just get focused on the weekend. And as soon as I got home, I felt like I've been somewhere every weekend, and that's different for me. Y'all know I'm a homebody. So I'm going through the motions of unpacking and slowly decorating. Shelves getting installed next week. So it's been fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of blessings. So it's nice. You got to keep up with what you ask for. You got to put that much back into it. So it's a good blessing. Oh, thank you so much. Bright Eyes PBJ says you look beautiful. Thank you. And I'm sure you look beautiful too, wherever you are. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So without further ado, we have to talk about the trip to Colombia. I've seen people kind of raise concern about calling it Harry and Meghan's Archwell tour, which is kind of what I've been calling it, because it was on behalf of Archwell Foundation. And each of the updates mentioned what these appearances and these engagements were for, and they were focused on different initiatives. We had the Invictus Games. We had things related to online safety and mental health awareness. Those are all Archwell Foundation or Invictus Games Foundation initiatives, obviously spearheaded by their founders, Harry and Meghan. However, we also had a tour of Colombia. That's what this was for, was to connect on those initiatives, but also so that Vice President Marquez could show Harry and Meghan, but by proxy, the world, show them Colombia and show them the sides of Colombia that are often overlooked or not publicized. And what's even more interesting, I thought, hey, Verta Sanchez, it's good to have you back. I thought it was important that they did that because this trip was right on the heels of Nigeria, who also has a lot of those same issues with global media. Actually, every country in Africa has those same issues with global media because Western media likes to show one version of Africa. They like to show Africa, same as Colombia, same as Mexico. They like to show any of these countries or these continents that are majority Black or brown. They show them as old and decrepit and needing of assistance. You know, you see the images of the worst case scenario. Anybody below the poverty line gets a commercial, but they don't show the destinations. They don't show the vacations. They don't show different versions of civilized life or whatever, of civilian life. And these tours are important to tour the country as much as you can, or even the continent as much as you can, so that people can see what's really happening. Sure, people in Africa need help, just like people in America, just like people in Colombia, just like people in the UK. Everybody has room to grow in every continent, every country. It's just a severe imbalance with how, when the country is majority white, they show that country as thriving and fruitful and healthy and safe for travel, and they promote their tourism through those images. But when it's a Black or brown country or continent, then it's unsafe. That's why those headlines triggered me when it was first announced that Harry and Meghan had been invited to Colombia. The first thing UK tabloid trash did was call it unsafe. That is a dog whistle. That is racist. And that's what I was talking about. That's why I was so bothered by that, because that affects their tourism. That affects their what is it called? Transplants. People don't want to move there if you're only seeing one version that it's unsafe. It's actually on a very micro scale, how in Texas, you only see one version of Texas. You see white people with 10 gallons. And you hear the horror stories that have happened here. You hear the horror stories like in Jasper, Texas, and what happened to the young girl with the braids in McKinney, Texas. You hear about those things. So a lot of people from up north think Texas is just one big racist state. And you don't even know we have a thriving Black community here, a thriving brown community. They only show Hispanic people in Texas as workers, and there is nothing wrong with being a field worker and working in the fields or whatever, or even doing laborious jobs. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is so much more to different groups of people than one version. And so when people look at Texas, they look at, now I can say us again, y'all, because I moved back. They look at us as a whole bunch of down home hicks, and my accent don't help. I don't help the cause, but it's important to show the beauty in every location on all sides, Black, brown, white, Hispanic, whatever. It's important for all of us to be represented. And that's why these tours are so important. So I actually don't shy away from calling them tours, because they're touring the country, and they're showing the world how beautiful these places are, and how not just the place, not just the location, but how amazing and thriving and beautiful and connected these communities are. I'll say this, I had never considered a trip to Colombia. I just never had thought about it. It had never really crossed my radar. I'm an advertiser's dream. I'm probably not thinking about it until you show me a reason why I should. And so I've had my little bucket list of destinations have been related to just experiences or what's advertised to me. So when I saw this, I said, you know what? Why not? Why not go to Colombia? It looks beautiful. And so I've already been looking into it, and I've seen so many of y'all looking into it as well. And that's the beauty of these tours. You get to see the real place and the real people. And I'll say this, I'm not going to read Western media, but y'all know y'all are wrong for only showing one version of all these places. Thankfully, Harry and Meghan, I don't even know if this is their intent, righting a lot of wrongs that they didn't commit. They're fixing a lot of Western media's problem just by showing up. I really appreciate that. Even the commentary around Harry needs to apologize for previous drug use when they found out he was going to Colombia. I said, will y'all leave that young version of him alone? And if it was this big secret of this shameful thing, he never would have told us. But thankfully in Spare, he owned everything he's ever done or ever thought about doing. And he shared all of that with us. You are not getting his goose by telling us something he already told us. Stop regurgitating things you read in Spare and turning it. Let me turn my thumb. Stop regurgitating things you read in Spare and trying to make it a headline, and just enjoy the trip. Just enjoy with the rest of us. So that's my little anger bot moment, because I was so tired of it. I didn't talk about it during my recaps from the grand arrival to day 4. I didn't want to talk about it. But don't think I wasn't taking note. I said, oh, y'all being racist. Do you know how racist that would be? Or not even racist, but how offensive that would be if somebody was like, we're going to Texas. Watch out for the cows. They bite. Like, I would be like, hold up. Don't talk about our cows like that. You better bag back. I would be offended. Our cows are lovely. But no, all jokes aside, you cannot just make up a narrative, or a lot of their narratives too. This is calling a lot of people out. Those headlines from the UK exposed a lot of people for how little they knew about world history, because most of those narratives were started by movies and media, and they fed right into it. I said, keep on with your headlines trying to be nasty, and you're exposing how uneducated you are and how much your editors need to be fired. Don't think I didn't write my little emails. See, I have stopped getting on this here microphone and complaining. I've started just utilizing my email address and been like, hey, I have a whole email account. Hey, I saw this in this article. This is unfactual, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm quick to send an email and expose, and this is the truth. This is what you said. You need to print a retraction. You need to redact this. You need to correct this, whatever. Don't bother people who don't work a full-time job. We are quick to be bothersome. Now, I'll say it's nice to have the flexibility to do what you want to do during the day, but a lot of us are bothersome. I chose to turn my powers into good. Instead of being a Karen out here in the streets, I decided to be a bothersome bot online with these media outlets when they print inappropriate things. I'm like, oh, well, I actually have time to do my research today. My nail appointment canceled. Let me see what I got. Like, I'm quick to be a problem. So anyway, I have been talking to y'all all this time. Let's get into segment 1. I said I wasn't going to do a segment, but again, don't bother people with too much time on their hand. I went ahead and made segments so we could stay on track. So I'm going to go ahead and post segment 1, and then we'll resume the conversation when I get back. Hey, y'all. Welcome. But before we get into the update itself, I just wanted to note how beautiful both couples look. Both couples looked so dapper and so pristine and very sharp. I loved it. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, have commenced their visit to Colombia with a memorable and heartfelt welcome from Vice President Francia Marquez and her partner, Rafael Yerny Pinillos. Known for her fierce advocacy for environmental justice and human rights, Vice President Marquez is a champion for marginalized communities and a defender of Colombia's natural heritage. Her work has garnered international acclaim, including the prestigious Goldman Environmental Prize, a testament to her dedication and impact. In her official residence, Vice President Marquez hosted the couple for a formal audience. Over coffee, tea, and delicious pan de bono, a traditional Colombian cheese bread, the Vice President shared her vision and love for Colombia, passion for mental health, and devotion to preventing online harm. That's with the connecting with students in Bogota. However, before I get into this, I just want to remind you that I am not a native Spanish speaker, and each of these videos I will provide a very quick disclaimer just so that people understand that where I'm coming from is a place of respect, and I definitely don't want to disrespect your native tongue. I will definitely give it my best shot to read these words and make them sound as much like they're supposed to as possible. However, I know it won't be perfect as I'm not a Spanish speaker. So if that is a distraction for you, you are more than welcome to skip the Colombia videos and come back when we resume business as normal. I just wanted to provide that quick disclaimer because I never want it to be seen as disrespect. However, if it's a distraction, please do what's best for you. At their second engagement of the day, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, joined Vice President Marquez for a visit to El Colegio de Cultura Popular, a school that serves approximately 400 students aged 12 to 18. Now, the next part is where I was absolutely blown away. When I think of school, I think of hard facts, learning, reading, writing, arithmetic, like stuff like that. But listen to some of the areas of focus for this school. Since 2002, the school has focused on enhancing knowledge areas, strengthening socio-emotional skills, fostering individual talents, and encouraging students to become autonomous problem solvers and team players committed to social transformation. Whoa, like sincerely blown away. There's so much that we learn in school, in the classroom, but also within our socializing in school. There's so many hard skills and soft skills that we learn and that we accumulate as we move through school and matriculate. However, knowing that there's a focus, especially on socio-emotional skills, that really blew me away. These kids are getting such an amazing opportunity, and I wish there were more opportunities for students around the world to learn this. This is why these visits are so impactful, because it exposes the world to things that people are doing in different areas, in different countries, in different cultures, that we too can adapt and we can adopt so that we can become a better society as a whole. This is amazing, and I didn't even know schools like this existed. During their visit, the Duke and Duchess participated in an insight session hosted by the Archwell Foundation, delving into discussions about the digital world and its impact on society. The students expressed profound gratitude for their digital literacy course, which transformed their understanding of technology use, helping them gain control over their tech habits and reduce anxiety, while also providing critical insights into social media algorithms and ethical considerations. They highlighted the positive aspects of technology, such as access to information and staying connected with distant family, but also voiced concerns about the negative impacts of tech on education, emotional well-being, and information integrity, emphasizing the need for media literacy and critical thinking skills. After the couple enjoyed a lively recess where they met more students and observed volleyball practice in the school's award-winning gardening program, the visit underscored the importance of nurturing young minds in a supportive environment and providing opportunities for both personal and academic growth. Prince Harry and Meghan were deeply moved by the students' passion and creativity and expressed their admiration for the school's commitment to education and community enrichment. Heritage of Humanity. This afternoon, the couple were greeted by Vice President Francia Marquez, Minister of Culture Juan David Correa, and the Director of CNA, Xiomara Suesun, for a special cultural event highlighting the artistry of Bogotá at the Centro Nacional de las Artes Delia Zapata Oliveira, CNA. Opened in March 2023, this cultural complex has quickly established itself as a vibrant epicenter of the arts, uniting three significant stages: the Colón Theater, the Delia Zapata Oliveira Room, and the Fanny Mickey Experimental Room. Known affectionately as El Delia, CNA honors Colombia's rich cultural diversity and aims to expand its influence across various artistic disciplines, both continent-wide and globally. The occasion provided Prince Harry and Meghan with a rich artistic tour through Colombia's diverse regions and history, featuring 4 distinct segments that showcase the nation's cultural heritage. The couple's experience began with a theater performance, musical performance, and Carnaval de Pasto dance performance in the neighboring plaza. Each artistic showcase was meant to highlight the past, present, and future of Colombian culture and how CNA is working to build a more inclusive creative community within Bogotá and beyond. The couple are grateful for the warmth and hospitality shared by Vice President Marquez, the performers, and the greater Bogotá community. Titled, Building a Responsible Digital Future. This evening, Prince Harry and Meghan participated in the Responsible Digital Future Summit at the Universidad EAN, one of the top-ranking universities in Latin America. Hosted by the Archwell Foundation in partnership with the Office of the Vice President of Colombia and Luminate, the event brought together a diverse group of thought leaders, experts, activists, and community members who are united by a shared vision of fostering a healthier and more ethical digital landscape. A central focus of the summit was the urgent need to highlight online safety in the Global South. Despite the majority of research on the mental health effects of social media being conducted in the Global North, 88% of the world's population and most adolescents reside in the Global South. Wow. This region faces particular challenges, with Latin American teenagers checking social media an average of 67 times a day, compared to the global average of 45 times. The summit addressed these issues by exploring innovative solutions and strategies to ensure that technology serves the common good, particularly in regions that are often underrepresented in global tech dialogues. The The conversation highlighted how the Archwell Foundation's extensive global reach and unique programming are well positioned to influence cultural and policy changes, especially in anticipation of the country's global ministerial conference, which is scheduled for November. To close the summit, the couple were delighted to reconnect with Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Ressa, whom they had previously interviewed for Time magazine a few years ago.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Here with me are Maria Ressa, a journalist and the CEO of the news site Rappler, and Rene Duesta, the research manager at the Stanford Internet Observatory. Both are experts in and witnesses of how narratives that spread on media platforms are having serious impacts both online and off. Welcome, guys. And Maria, this is the first time that we've met. How has this last year been?
June 15th, in the middle of the lockdown in the Philippines. It's the longest in the world and among the strictest. But in the middle of that, I was convicted of cyber libel. It's for a crime that didn't exist when we published the story 8 years ago, a story I didn't write, edit, or supervise. And now I could go to jail for up to 6 years. Yes, I have 8 arrest warrants. I am fighting each case in court. And connected to what you're saying, all of these, the weaponization of the law was actually enabled by the bottom-up attacks on social media that began in 2016. And that's progressed, and we've seen the evolution. So having said that, it's good.
Together, along with Vice President Francia Marquez, they participated in a panel discussion that focused on actionable pathways for achieving a more responsible and inclusive digital future. The conversation underscored the urgency in prioritizing humanity and connection over an increasingly unsafe digital landscape. Quote, with the Archwell Foundation, me and my wife believe that information integrity is a fundamental right, the Duke of Sussex shared during the discussion. Quote, we should model how we want our kids to be raised and for the world in which we raise them. The Duchess of Sussex said, quote, it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter who you are. Either you personally or someone you know is a victim to what's happening online. And that's something we can actively work on every day to remedy.
AI is scary, and I think a lot of people are scared and uncertain. And I think one of the solutions to that is education and awareness. It's becoming harder and harder to stem the flow from the source, and therefore it comes down to all of us to be able to spot the true from the fake.
And for me, the most important place that I sit in the world right now is as a mother. I look at it through the lens of what our children are going to adopt as they get older, and how we can keep them safe, because I do believe all of us agree, despite whatever disparities there are throughout the world, no one contests the fact that we want to keep our children safe.
So, oh, I just saw this comment. Hi, Black Queen. Black Queen says, look at Princess Diana's son. He turned out so well. He did. He really did. It's so funny how both Harry and Meghan, their mother's genes, as far as creating who they are on the inside, were strong enough to combat their counterparts, because Lord knows. Because both of them have just the most deadbeatiest of deadbeat daddies. So I'm so grateful for Doria and Diana. And I would have loved to see them, Doria and Diana, become friends and get to know each other, because they would have had a hoot together. They would have enjoyed each other. What could have been, right? Church Nelly says, I've been watching Harry and Meghan dancing over and over and over. Me too. Oh my gosh. Like, not only was it endearing, but they can actually dance. Like, they were cutting a rug. I was like, okay, I need to give me some dance lessons. I tried to take ballroom and it went well, but I didn't know ballroom lessons were that expensive. It was I think it was the Fred Astaire studio in Orlando. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's the one we ended up going with. We did like 3 classes, but First of all, we don't go anywhere where you would need to ball dance. So we were like, well, we don't need a ballroom dance. But also it was expensive as heck. I was like, whoo, let me get my 5 little sessions done and we'll see. We'll practice what we know so far. But these videos of them dancing had me intrigued about salsa. Now I heard a little word from Queen Verda Sanchez. And Queen Verda Sanchez used to tear up the dance floor. She said she did all the dances, but salsa was her jam. And I was like, oh my God, I would pay to see that because salsa dancing looks so beautiful. It's just no matter who is doing it, if you know how to do it, it just make you look like a masterful, what is it called? A master of the floor. Oh my goodness. I want to learn salsa dancing. For long, I'm gonna be speaking Spanish and doing salsa. I'm just gonna abandon my German lessons. I'm about to switch over. I'll be back when I learn Spanish. But y'all heard me struggling through my Espanol. I think I better stick with German for right now, and then I'll be back. So far, so good, I guess. Hi, Karen M. Karen M says, my favorite part of the tour was when Harry knew his limitation and asked the person he trusts to help me finish his speech. That's a real man. Yes, when he gave the mic to Meghan. Oh, that was so sweet because it just shows their teamwork because you're not always going to be 100% at everything. At least he tried and he did such a great job. I thought that was such a kind gesture, but I loved where, like you said, he knew his limits and he was like, you know what? Better rely on the one who is fluent. And that is how you back up your partner. She was right there to help him out. I thought that was so sweet. Yes, absolutely. Hi, Claudia Sims. Claudia Sims says, Meghan has friends in high places. Added to the list is Madam VP. Yeah, okay. So I mentioned that on Twitter too. It started to feel less like an official tour for Archwell and for Harry and Meghan. And it just became over the course of 4 days, it looked like a meeting between friends. Like they were like whispering to each other and laughing and having fun. And all I could think when I saw VP Marquez, I was just like, girl, you did that. This is how a tour is done. You absolutely did that. It sounds, hi, Verda Sanchez. Queen Verda Sanchez says, it sounds wonderful, Mrs. Sharion. You are doing great. Remember to roll your R's. I will do my best. I'm going to give it my best shot. But you know what? I'm going to practice. I'm going to come back. Y'all not going to recognize me. I'm going to be a regular Sofia Vergara next time. But that's going to take a lot of practice. So I'll let you know how I do. Let's get back to some comments. Hi, Church Nelly. Church Nelly, thank you so much for 19 months of membership. And actually, it's supposed to be more than that, but because me and YouTube had our little fist fight, they paused the memberships. So technically, I think everybody's actually 24 months. And Church Nelly, you were one of the first. So I'm going to actually give you your kudos for the real number of 24 months of membership. It's just me and YouTube had a little smackdown earlier this year, but we back. We good. It's like when you take an ex back and all your friends look at you crazy. He gonna change this time, I swear, y'all. So me and YouTube working it out. But you actually are owed 24 months of membership on that. So congratulations and thank you so much for supporting the channel. She says, hi, Sharion, Sharionettes, Sharionites, and all squaddies from around the world and beyond. Thank you so much, Mrs. Nacho. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get to day 2 and then we'll continue with the comments. Colegio La Giralda. On their second day in Colombia, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Vice President Marquez paid a memorable visit to Colegio La Giralda, a local public school in the Las Cruces neighborhood of the town of Santa Fe. Their visit was a celebration of education, emotional well-being, and community spirit, highlighting the remarkable initiatives and the dedicated people who make Colegio La Giralda possible. The couple was warmly welcomed by Serafín Ordóñez, the head of school, who led them on a thoughtful tour of the campus. The school prepared a vibrant welcome for the Duke and Duchess with performances throughout the grounds featuring students in traditional Colombian dress, cumbia songs, and live percussion. Their visit included an observation of the school's historical memory museum, where students showcased art honoring Colombian history and resilience. Additionally, Prince Harry and Meghan engaged with kindergarten students, working on puzzles and having conversations, with Meghan showcasing her Spanish skills. Y'all, she got to speak Spanish. The couple was then taken to La Giralda's urban garden, which aims to promote a culture of peace and respect for the environment. The garden promotes sustainability, cooperative work, and beautification of the school together with students, families, and the community. The Duke and Duchess planted a walnut tree. That actually reminded me of this moment.
Yes, we can do it together. Here. Ready? Okay. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
The Duke and Duchess planted a walnut tree alongside the Vice President to mark their visit and leave behind a lasting impact on the school community. Prince Harry and Meghan concluded their visit in the school's acclaimed socio-emotional gym. This unique program, run by and for students, provides a vital space for the Colegio La Giralda community to explore and enhance their emotional well-being. The gym features various interactive stations where students manage activities designed to help peers identify and share their emotions, resolve conflicts, and support each other's mental health. The couple extends their heartfelt gratitude to everyone at Colegio La Giralda who made the visit a memorable and inspiring occasion. Invictus Games, Team Colombia. On their second and final day in Bogota, the Duke and Duchess, accompanied by Vice President Francia Marquez and her partner Rafael Yerny Panillo, visited the Center for Inclusive Rehabilitation. This state-of-the-art facility, managed by the Directorate of Veterans and Inclusive Rehabilitation, supports active duty service members and veterans and also serves as the training ground for Team Colombia, which joined the Invictus Games family in 2023. The couple was welcomed by military officials and a veteran military band that performed a cumbia and salsa medley before they began their tour of the facilities. They explored the swimming pool, rock climbing wall, gym, and rehabilitation areas, engaging with athletes about their exercise routines, favorite workouts, and strategies for maintaining strength. The group then attended a volleyball match where Panillo and Prince Harry participated while the Vice President and the Duchess cheered from the sidelines. After the match, Prince Harry met with Korean War veterans and both he and Meghan toured the center's art hall, featuring artwork by Invictus athletes. The Duchess received a painting, hand-knitted animals, and a beaded necklace and earrings from the artists, while the Duke was presented with commemorative plaque from the Ministry of National Defense Veterans. Wow. The Center for Inclusive Rehabilitation is not just a place of physical recovery, it is a hub for inspiration and community. It stands as a testament to the power of adaptive sports and rehabilitation in transforming lives and empowering veterans and service members to reach new heights. So day 1 and 2 were jam-packed. They were so busy, and it felt like every time we got an update, let me make sure y'all can hear me. Every time we got an update, they were off doing something else. I was like, when are they resting? But they got the most out of those 4 days. They work really hard, and it seems like not that it was just work, but it seems like they were truly enjoying themselves. So it was really nice to see them in their element. When Meghan mentioned that this was their chapter of joy, I could have stopped in my tracks. It feels like I was so relieved because to hear them confirm how happy they are now, first of all, we know that to be true because we can look at them and tell. We can literally look at them and tell, but it directly contradicts what everybody tries to paint of them as one day. Now, this is how the media is so trash. One day they're broke. They're poppers. They out here with their tin cans asking for change. And then the next day, they're uber rich and responsible for all the world's problems. Like they can't decide which struggle they want to pick. So they just throw it all at the wall to see what sticks. And thankfully, none of it does. But they try to paint them out to be anything but happy. And I'm going to be honest. I don't know that I've ever seen a happier couple, and I've never seen a happier royal couple. Royal couples are almost always marked with that misery on their face. It's like an earned misery. They always look like they're seconds from cracking in half. And Harry and Meghan have always looked like, as long as I'm with you, I'm good. Like they can withstand any environment, and we've seen that they can. But I'm so happy they are not in survivor mode anymore or survival mode. I'm so happy that they are thriving everywhere they go. And then I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I thought about this when we went on the little break so y'all can watch the segment. I thought about the fact that the UK had the audacity to question the safety in Colombia. Meanwhile, Harry can't even bring his wife back because y'all won't get an angle on those extremists that are being propelled by your own media and your royal family. It's like, okay, you're not even calling, the pot ain't calling the kettle black no more. The pot is just looking straight in the mirror. Because you don't have the room. First of all, Meghan and Harry were perfectly safe in Colombia, and everybody there wished them well and were happy that they were there. And the same cannot be said in the UK. And I hate that the UK public has to suffer the loss of both their most beloved royals because of the extreme media and the extremists that they propel and their shady ass royal family. So I thought, oh, the nerve of you calling anybody unsafe, UK. Meanwhile, anyway, I mean, we could just talk about the Metro officers, but I've done more than enough videos on them. I'm not going to keep bothering. But let me read some of these comments. Hi, Black Queen. Black Queen says, UK is the mother of colonization. Right. The architect of centuries of physical and psychological horrors against humanity. That resonate today. 100%. They are the blueprint, the originators. You are so right about that. The nerve of them to point the finger at anybody else. Anyway, sometimes you can't even respond. Sometimes you just have to sit back and laugh and say, really? Well, bless your heart. Bless your heart. Hi, Church Nelly. Church Nelly says, Lord, add Raphael to my list with Nacho. Okay, I got your emoji coming up soon. But yeah. Now I'll say this, Church Nelly. You'll tell a joke, but you will not tell a lie. Everybody on your list is exactly how you describe them. Good looking. You are absolutely right. Hi, Church Nelly. Church Nelly elongated that list. So I didn't even know most of these people on your list. Nacho, we knew that. Boris Kojo, and he's German. So yes, Boris. Morris Chestnut. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to say Morris Chestnut. My sister might jump through the screen. She has loved Morris Chestnut since we were little. Since when he was Ricky. She did like herself a little athlete. When he was Ricky in Boys in the Hood, she loved him. But the best man, that first one, never seen better on TV. Prince Carl Philip. I don't think I know Prince Carl Philip, so I got a little research to do. And Raphael, you got a good list there, Church Nelly. Mine is my husband. And I know he's watching, so you, boo, you. That's why I don't post them, because I don't need nobody coming to get my boo. That's all I got. We've got Claudia Sims. Hi, Claudia Sims. Claudia Sims says, after this trip, I would now go to Colombia. Me too. That's the power of these trips, is that it opens a lot of minds. And I don't even consider myself to be closed-minded. I consider myself to be very progressive and open-minded and willing to try new things. And it actually kind of exposed like a blind spot for myself where I'm like, why haven't you considered Colombia? And I was like, girl, I don't even know. But now we are. So I'm glad that they went and really showed the beautiful and the richness, the loving community that is there. Hi, Church Nelly. Church Nelly said, y'all, the British media is having a serious meltdown. Oh, we're still in the blackout, or what is it? The mute challenge. But let me just say, some headlines have popped up in my DMs because, you know, people go out, they send me screenshots and they're like, did you see this? What are your thoughts? And some of the things that they're saying, I personally feel like we're watching this happen in real time, but I feel like the powers that be are allowing enough rope for them to hang themselves. I feel like there is something coming because I don't even know what to call it. It's like a feverish attempt at painting Harry and Meghan in these really negative ways, but it's kind of taking it up a notch, which is saying something. They've been just making up stuff out of the blue, and really bad stuff too. It's no longer, which has always been pretty bad, but it's no longer just, oh, Meghan's a bully or Harry is, you know, controlled or blah, 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 the usual nonsense, right? Continuing to expose how inept they are. But now they're actually saying some libelous things, some slanderous things. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to warn them. I'm just going to keep letting them do what they do, because pretty soon we're going to see all of them become defunct. The same with News of the World. They're about to go the same way of the News of the World, and they deserve it. And the last comment I saved was, get ready for enraged and aged to try to speak a different language, which I saw. Oh, I wish I could find that tweet. I meant to take a picture of the tweet. Somebody tweeted the other day, not Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan spoke Spanish and Meghan speaking it fluently. Meanwhile, Will and Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales, can't even speak Welsh. And I read that and I was like, they can't speak. I don't know why in my mind they could. I just, and then I went and researched. No, they cannot. They better sweep in front of their own front porch before they bother anybody else. Because wow, Harry and Meghan just being themselves really does show how deprived that monarchy really was of true star power, but also people who wanted to do the work, who wanted to carry the responsibility and do the work for the public. Man, I just hate that the UK missed out so much because their royal family were so blindsided or so blind to what was greatness, or competing is the word I'm trying to come up with. That they were competing with greatness. That really did bother me because so many people, I don't even like looping everybody in, because a lot of times I'll say, oh, the UK didn't appreciate them. That is not true. It is a very small group in that within the powers that be that ruined it for everybody, because so many of my subscribers are from the UK and they are always quick to correct me and be like, no, Sharion, trust me, the public here love both Harry and Meghan. We are suffering just right along with everybody else, just as much as y'all love them. We love them too. It's the media and the royal family, and they're absolutely right. So I've been trying to do a better job of making sure that I don't misspeak on behalf of the public in the UK, because they don't deserve that either. They deserve the royal family they asked for, and that includes Harry and Meghan. That is majority Harry and Meghan, if we're gonna be honest. The majority of the people who still like the royal family were really disappointed that Harry and Meghan weren't able to stay and, you know, do their thing. But I know on the other side of that, we're all celebrating, because now what would have been would have been representing the crown is now global ambassadorship, and now we all benefit. So everything worked out, everything had divine timing, and it all worked out because it just wasn't fair having all that hard work and star power confined to one country. So I guess we all benefit. Thank God for all of us. But yeah, I know that sucks. Now I'm going to say this, Church Nelly, enraged and aged. I'm never going to call them Will and Kate again. Oh, this is who they are to me now, because this is so accurate and it rhymes. Now this tickled me. I love it. Let me see. Yeah. I'm trying to get as soon as I try to click the comment to read it to you guys and comment on it, it runs away. Oh, Prince Carl Philip of Sweden. Oh, okay. I'm gonna look him up. We might get some videos on Prince Carl Philip. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Someone said, if Harry and Meghan are miserable, that's the kind of misery I want. Right. Maybe I need to go back to my dictionary, because I didn't think miserable looked like that. And they truly are in their season of joy. They look so happy, and it's infectious. Everybody around them just woke up and livened up. This tour, as well as Nigeria and Canada, looked so different than other tours where people are like nervous and on their P's and Q's and robots. You just see people come alive around Harry and Meghan and really engage with them, and vice versa. And that's what you want when someone is representing a country or an organization or a government or whatever. You want them to put their best foot forward. And that's what we're seeing here. And I think that's why it's resonating so greatly. Even publications who typically look for any old thing to complain about had to hang their hat and admit these last 3 tours have been uber successful, and more successful than any other royal tours. Even the ones, I don't name them, but even the ones that want to find something to be mad about, they had to admit, they were like, this is a successful tour. And I saw one of the headlines that got sent to me. It said something along the lines of like, Harry and Meghan's tour in Colombia was successful, but what's the real story? I said, oh no, not y'all playing Clue. They are looking for anything. They really are having a meltdown. Anyway, keep the comments coming, and let's get to day 3.
Escuela Tambores de Cabildo.
Today, The Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Vice President Marquez paid a visit to Escuela Tambores de Cabildo, a drum school located on the beach of La Boquilla, Cartagena. This exceptional school, dedicated to preserving cultural traditions and instilling pride among young students, offers a range of programs that go beyond drumming. Under the auspices of the Cabildo Corporation, an NGO committed to promoting the African diaspora's oral and written traditions, the school provides a unique blend of music education, social support, and community engagement. Serving children aged 6 to 18, wow, the school has been a beacon of hope and cultural preservation for 14 years. That's amazing. Prince Harry and Meghan were greeted by the booming sounds of drums and the school's founder, Rafael Ramos, upon their arrival. After the opening performance, the Duke and Duchess and the Vice President listened to local community members that included children, teenagers, parents, and elders about the importance of preserving the culture of Cartagena. The couple, alongside Vice President Francia Marquez and her partner, joined a drum lesson led by local students. The session was followed by a performance from the community that moved both the Vice President and the Duchess of Sussex to their feet. The vibrant rhythms, heartfelt stories, and deep sense of community showcased the school's vital role in celebrating and preserving Cartagena's rich Afro-Colombian heritage. The visit highlighted not only the cultural significance of the school, but also the power of music and community in bridging generations and fostering unity. San Basilio de Palenque. In a visit that underscored their commitment to uplifting communities, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Vice President Francia Marquez made a remarkable stop at San Basilio de Palenque, a historically significant village located outside Cartagena. This visit celebrated the rich legacy of a village with profound historical roots. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, joined by Vice President Marquez, began their visit with a special tour of San Basilio de Palenque. Upon arrival, they were greeted by a performance of the Colombian national anthem by local students, followed by a series of speeches and performances by Palenque's community leaders. Each speaker expressed their gratitude for the visit and highlighted the significance of preserving Palenquean culture and historical landmarks which are vital to Colombia's heritage. Following the presentation, the Duke of Sussex addressed the gathering in Spanish, expressing the couple's heartfelt thanks to the community for their warm welcome. That's amazing. How considerate. The visit continued with a stroll through the town, where locals cheered, children danced, and Prince Harry and Meghan explored the vibrant street market. The couple's visit to San Basilio de Palenque not only celebrated its heritage, but also reaffirmed the power of community spirit and connection. So day 3 was also a success. Each day, they were just doing so much good work and shining so many amazing lights on all these amazing organizations, these really hardworking people, but also those babies. The kiddos were so cute and so confident. It was really great to see that not only were they performing, but also giving speeches and giving input to some of the conversations that were happening. It was really great to see something that was just evident from start to finish in this trip, but especially on day 3 or day 2 and 3 especially, was that strong sense of community from the cradle to the grave. Just everybody in every age group were just such what is the word? I don't want to say participatory. I guess they participated heavily. You didn't see anybody like in our culture. There tends to be like the teenagers kind of tuned out, like they're not really interested. Kids kind of off doing their own thing. You see the adults in their age groups, and then the elders are together. But it was great to see from every age group, all of them coming together and sharing in those moments. It looked like a family reunion. That's what I would liken it to. It really looked like a beautiful family reunion. And I could feel the warmth through the pictures. And then the videos obviously confirmed it. But they looked like they were not only happy to have Harry and Meghan there, but Harry and Meghan looked happy to be there. They looked relieved to be there. Like, oh, finally somewhere that I can just woosah. And this was a working trip, and they looked like they were just fully at home. I hope to see another trip to Colombia soon. It blew me away. It really did blow me away. And every event that they attended, I learned something new. that's part of the reason why I really do appreciate the Sussex.com updates and Harper's Bazaar. They did their thing with this coverage. They did a great job. They did a lot better than People Magazine. And I'll tell you why when I finish, why I liked Harper's Bazaar recaps more than the People Magazine recaps from Canada and Nigeria. But besides that, it really did feel like Harry and Meghan were just immediately when they got there, they were just immediately in step with everyone else. They did not look like outsiders. They looked like this was one of a million trips that they've taken before. You would never know that this was their first visit if no one had told you. And that's just because of how happy they seem to be and how in step with everyone they seem to be and vice versa. Oh man, they really showed them a good time. But back to what I said about Harper's Bazaar. Y'all know how angry I was at People Magazine for, in my opinion, I know they don't owe anybody anything, but I just felt like they double-crossed Harry and Meghan after both the Canada and the Nigeria trips. I felt like y'all were in the pocket at Archwell doing exclusive coverage for these international tours. Why would you mess that up by publishing false stories, especially false exclusives? And even worse, which I was very happy that they didn't even take off. All the stories that they tried to print and publish as exclusives died within 24 hours. You didn't even get the mileage you thought you were going to get out of those stories, and you ruined your relationship with Archwell because of it. Serves you right, but it was dead wrong. They should not have done them like that. And I'm so happy that Harper's Bazaar has a lot more integrity. Even their reporting down to the way they refer to Meghan as Duchess Meghan, none of that Meghan Markle. And that is her, that's her name. That's her stage name, but her real name at this point is Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. We've been knew that since her wedding day. We have known that. We have been correcting people from dawn until dusk. If you are still publishing Meghan Markle as her name, you're wrong. And a publication and an outlet as big as People Magazine, who have now done several exclusives with Harry and Meghan, real exclusives with Harry and Meghan, for them to then turn around and print fake exclusives with these random unnamed source who were employees of Archwell. Now Archwell does international business. They have a legal team, not a law person, a legal team, in-house legal team. You don't think them people sign NDAs? You don't think they have a thriving human resources department? Come on, you really thought you got an exclusive, baby? You were talking to the barista in the lobby. You were not talking to an Archwell employee. Get out of here. Anyway, whoever they talked to lost them an opportunity, and it serves them right. But to the people who did it right, Harper's Bazaar did it. They did it well. They covered everything, and we're going to get a Sussex style this week. I've been working on it all week long. But they took the fashion, the events. They gave an article for every single event, and they did an in-depth article. They talked to people who were in attendance. That is how you do on-the-ground coverage. People Magazine were publishing details that were right there on Sussex.com. I said, okay, good for you, but why are you there? If they're doing their own reporting and it's better than yours, you don't have to be there. You could have saved somebody a flight, like paying for that flight. You didn't have to be there, because in the Nigeria trip, when I was doing the coverage for that, I would always take the exclusive articles that showed up, and then I would go to Sussex.com and I highlight what isn't included. Also, if they're having outlets come out as the exclusive reporting outlet, then they are saving details for them. So it's a mutual relationship. People didn't have anything. It's like they just copied and pasted and they reworded it. You know what they did? Senior year of high school, when you got to do all those final papers, all they did was take this information and they read Harry and Meghan appeared, and then they turned it around and said, happening to appear was Harry and Meghan. You aren't giving us anything new. You're rewording and then adding stuff. Even in those articles, I felt like they were a little bit shady, because some of the stuff they would always, you're reporting directly with Harry and Meghan. You have the ability to get an exclusive quote for your publication from Harry and Meghan on a globally publicized tour. And you decide to bring up, it's been 4 years since they stepped back. We never need to hear step back again. We know talk about what's happening today. You can even talk about what happened last year or the year before. You can say it's been a year and a couple of months since Spare was published. Fine, I'll even take that. But good God, stop talking about Step Back. I don't need it. We don't need it. And they were still doing little stuff like that. And I'm like, see, Archwell threw y'all a bone. And with them, with Archwell comes us, the support of the Sussex squad. And I love to see that Harper's Bazaar said, we're not missing this opportunity to tap into that very lucrative fan base. On that end alone, they operated in a smart manner. But the integrity side of it is what got my goose was, oh God, I've been here too long. It's time to move again. I can hear my phrases coming back. But the fact that Harper's Bazaar handled it with care. Everything they reported on was in a very unbiased and positive light. They didn't try to sneak in any trickery. And you know, I was examining those articles. I was like Inspector Gadget, you know, he read like this. I was looking line by line, like for shade, any kind of innuendo, any rudeness. I said, let me see, because I'm not going to support you if you do that. Because, you know, I've been blindsided before, so I'm real sensitive to that kind of thing. All their coverage was positive. They utilized their boots on the ground. They got great quotes. They covered the fashion, the style. I also appreciated that they not only covered the facts in the event, and they also did a really great story on Vice President Marquez. They did a great job. But I also love that they gave us the love articles where they talked about their PDA and they talked about their dancing and they talked about, so all of that was great. I've been retweeting them on Twitter, but Harper's Bazaar, they stepped up. They did a great job, and I hope to see them continue on that route. I'm sick of outlets using Harry and Meghan for you know, a quick cash grab and some headline and baiting headlines and clickbait and crap, and then they turn around and then want to work with them. I'm tired of them using Harry and Meghan's kindness for weakness. And I'm glad People Magazine got the boot because we got better reporting for it. We absolutely did. And I went ahead. I said, I'm going to see how you behave on this tour. And then if you do good, Harper's Bazaar, I'm going to sign up. I did. I paid my little $15 and signed up for their online all-exclusive package. So I even got the little print article coming to the print magazine coming to the house to go on my coffee table. So you know it's real. It's real. Now, if I see even near a mention of a Thomas or a Samantha, log on, cancel my subscription, and I'll live stream that because I don't play. I'm now real sensitive to that double crossing. No more of that. I'm so glad they handled it the way they did. Hi, Black Queen. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you're a moderator. Thank you so much. Wow. Y'all are so supportive. Okay, now we got to get to day 4 because I've talked y'all's ear off. Keep the comments coming, and then we'll continue the conversation when I get back. Is Afro-descendant women and power. This morning, the Duchess of Sussex joined Vice President Francia Marquez for a compelling panel discussion titled Afro-descendant Women and Power, Voice of Equity. The event, held in the vibrant city of Cali, Colombia, spotlighted the achievements and challenges of Afro-Colombian women leaders and entrepreneurs. As a powerful symbol of hope and progress, Marquez's initiative brought together prominent women leaders from across Colombia to discuss their careers, entrepreneurship, and the unique joys and challenges they faced. The audience was also treated to performances by Afro-Colombian musicians Nydia Góngora and Cynthia Montano, who brought the Duchess and the Vice President to their feet with their stirring music. The event's final panel featured the Duchess, Vice President Marquez, and Open Society Foundation President Bennefer Nalroji. The discussion centered on their experiences as women of color in positions of influence and their efforts to empower the next generation of female leaders. The Duchess began her remarks in Spanish, expressing her deep appreciation for the Colombian hospitality. She praised the culture and history of the country, describing the visit as a dream and highlighting the strong sense of community she felt. She also emphasized the importance of ensuring that women and girls are heard, respected, and recognized in all aspects of life, a core principle of her philanthropic work. Quote, I find inspiration in the strong women around me, of course my mother being one of them. I love that she takes a moment to bring her mother with her everywhere she goes. That's so beautiful. So much of how I approach things is less about the fight and more about how do we show up in a space and wash things over with love and kindness and generosity. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. The event concluded with a vibrant fashion show featuring local designers, celebrating the creativity and talent of the Colombian fashion scene. Titled Jóvenes en Cali, In a heartwarming and impactful visit, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex arrived at
Unidad Recreativa El Vallado
in Cali to join Jóvenes en Cali, a youth organization in the city. Upon their arrival, the couple received a warm and enthusiastic welcome as their visit opened with various salsa and hip-hop performances. The Duke and Duchess joined the student dancers on the floor towards the end of the musical segment. Following the dance performances, the Duke and Duchess took the time to speak directly with the youth, listening to their personal stories and learning about the challenges they face and the successes they have achieved through music and dance. Prince Harry addressed the group, telling the young attendees, quote, "I hope you understand how much your actions impact the people and children in your communities. The path you've chosen will inspire and drive change for hundreds, even thousands of young people." The Duchess also praised the students for prioritizing art as a means to support their mental health, expressing how proud she was of their efforts. The visit serves as a reminder of the profound difference that dedicated organizations and compassionate individuals can make in enriching children's lives and promoting a more equitable and peaceful world. This is the last update from Sussex.com, celebrating Colombia. For their final engagement in Colombia, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex made an appearance at the Petronio Music Festival in Cali, a vibrant celebration renowned for its dedication to Afro-Colombian music and dance. Held at the Unidad Deportivo Alberto Galindo Sports Complex, this annual festival is the world's largest tribute to Afro-Colombian heritage, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors each year for a vibrant display of music, food, art, and fashion. Amidst the festival's lively and immersive atmosphere, the Duke and Duchess joined Vice President Francia Marquez and her partner to officially kick off the festivities. The couple expressed their gratitude to Colombia for its warm welcome and beauty, with the Duchess addressing the crowd in Spanish. As a token of appreciation, they were gifted a bottle of Viche, a local liquor from the Pacific region, and a wooden marimba, symbolizing their connection to Colombian music. Before leaving the stage, they took a moment to greet and hug the children's choir, performing with them, further highlighting their appreciation for the festival's spirit and the Colombian community. Wow. The couple would like to extend their deepest gratitude to all event organizers, Vice President Francia Marquez, and the entire Colombian community for their incredible hospitality and an unforgettable trip.
Colombia. Muchas gracias, señora vicepresidenta. Can you help me translate?
Of course, claro que sí.
Thank you for your warm welcome.
Gracias por su cálida bienvenida.
Thank you for your beautiful culture.
Gracias por su cultura hermosa.
And thank you for your incredible hospitality.
Y mil gracias por su hospitalidad increíble. Me siento igual. Muchísimas gracias a todos y todas y disfruten la noche.
Me gustaría empezar en español. Porque estamos en su país, mi marido y yo, y puedo sentir este abrazo de Colombia y es increíble. Entonces, gracias, muchas gracias, porque la cultura, la historia, todo estaba como un sueño, este viaje. Y perdona si mi español no está perfecto, porque yo aprendí hace 20 años en Argentina, pero estoy tratando, porque acá puedo sentir esta comunidad y este es el sentimiento que es lo mejor del mundo ahora. Entonces, gracias, vicepresidenta, mi amiga. Muchas gracias. Y bueno, ahora en inglés.
Quiero vivir libre. Fuerza y valor para seguir heridas de mi alma.
Guten Tag, wie geht es Ihnen? Es geht mir sehr gut. As many of you know, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, learned Spanish while interning at the U.S. Embassy in Argentina in 2002. We've spoken about this quite a few times. Hearing her speak fluent Spanish in Colombia was such an inspiration to me personally, as I am on my own language learning journey. I've tried using programs like Rosetta Stone and Babbel, and while they're great for so many people, they just didn't work for my learning style. And I assume that there are a lot of other people who may have found themselves in that spot as well. And while I'm not able to live in Germany to learn German yet, I did turn to Pimsleur in the meantime, and it's worked for me. Whether you prefer a book, an audiobook, or an app, you can start your own language learning journey by signing up at pimsleur.com or even downloading the app on your smartphone. After hearing about how helpful they've been to me because I sent an email, because y'all know how I do, they offered me a special sign-up code to give a discount to anyone else who uses the link in the description box below to join as well. Best wishes on your language learning journey. And hopefully one day I sound as good speaking German as the automated helper.
Viel Glück dabei, Mädchen.
From me to you, Auf Wiedersehen. I just wanted to take a super short break to say, if you have not already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you are interested, feel free to participate in the live chat going on now, or feel free to leave a comment if you do not wish to engage in the live chat. Once again, I know I do this all the time. I'm enjoying a channel, I'm enjoying the video, I'm just having a great time, and I completely forget to hit subscribe. So please don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to comment if you wish, and please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button so that the algorithm on YouTube knows that you like my content. Now, let's get back to the show. Hey y'all, I'm back again. So that was the day 4 recap, as well as more footage from throughout the trip. And I just have to say, Meghan's Spanish was beautiful. I have shared clips of her speaking Spanish in different interviews. And of course, we shared the clip from Suits when they did the Spanish episode. And so we've heard her speak Spanish before, but they've all been older moments. So it was really nice to have her in present day speaking Spanish. And she sounds fluent. She sounds like that might be her native tongue. Like it just rolled right off of her tongue. And as someone who was simply just reading a couple Spanish words here and there, It's not an easy feat. So she's clearly in the know. But of course, she's very intelligent. So I'm not surprised that she was able to pick that up and retain it. But she did mention in one of those interviews that she was also going to pursue learning French again because she used to know French as well. And so I'm excited to see what that journey is like if we ever get a glimpse of that. But watching her and seeing how confidently she spoke Spanish and how well she spoke Spanish, it just reinvigorated me to like follow through. I am on lesson, I'm on, so Pimsleur, the program that I'm using, they gave me a code. So anybody who wants to also use Pimsleur to do their language learning, there's a code in the description box if you want to try it out. And watching her speak Spanish just reminded me, like, a lot of people want to learn another language. I'm one of those people. So I've been working on my German for a while. I'm now at a phase of like refinement. And so where, like, for example, if I want to say sehr gut, I'm supposed to sound more like sehr gut, but it comes out like an S. So those are things that I'm still working on, of like refinement. And I'll be honest, I am in Texas, land of Tex-Mex, and the majority of the streets, the names, the words, the menu items are in Spanish, and I'm surrounded by Spanish and English. And I was doing so much better speaking German when I didn't live in Texas. So now I'm like, okay, let me get through this, practice and make perfect, but then get to Spanish because this is the best place to learn in America, I guess. So I'll have all the support I need. So I'm looking forward to that chapter as well, because there's no reason for anybody to really be out here not speaking the languages that they want to pursue. There's so many programs. So when I found one that worked for me, I wanted to share it. So when I'm finished with my German, I'm definitely moving on to my Spanish, and hopefully I won't be struggling with Palenque like I was this time. Hopefully it'll roll right off my tongue. But practice makes perfect. So you have to be willing to look silly or sound silly a few times in order to practice and get it right. So that's not something I'm afraid of. It's all part of the process. Hi, Claudia Sims. Claudia Sims says, they are mad they cannot manipulate the images that are coming out. Yes, the media has been very butthurt about the fact that they cannot manipulate anything, that they can't change the narrative or change the story. And not only do we have images, but we have video as well and firsthand accounts. So they just have to play along long enough to get the story that they're looking for. Y'all know how they do. The same old thing. Hi, Black Queen. Oh, thank you for your super sticker. I thanked you before the segment, but I want to take a moment to say thank you again. I really appreciate all of your support of the channel. Hi, Jeanette Williams. Jeanette Williams says, show them what you got, Harry and Meghan. All their love clearly displayed via their mind, body, and soul. Yes. Now, we talk a lot about them being in step. And they absolutely were. And when they were dancing, they definitely had rhythm. They were in tune, and they just looked like they were having a good time. But even in moments where they're speaking and he needed her help, she immediately jumped right in. Whenever she's about to speak or do anything, he rubs her back and he protects her. I love the way that they stay locked in. That is that's a sign of such a healthy bond. And I love to see that. And I'm glad that they don't withhold. I know that it was the royal family's way for like, oh, no PDA, blah, blah, blah. Well, that was more so a curated rule. You know why? But they discourage PDA. But why would you discourage open displays of appropriate affection? Like, it's okay for a husband and wife to love each other. Y'all will sit here and talk about squidgy gate and tampon gate in your news all day, but God forbid they hold each other's elbow. Like they be like, oh no, Will and Kate, they can't be within 10 feet of each other. Anything else would be improper. Like, no, that's not improper. If you got kids, we know you're rubbing something. Maybe it's not an elbow, but we know enough to know you made a baby. So it's okay to hold a hand. They making excuses because some people hate each other. So it's great to see a couple in a position of power supporting one another and loving one another openly. That's beautiful. More displays of that. Hi, Mina Ruth. Mina Ruth says, People magazine is trash. That's why I really don't be reading them like that. Same. I don't either. When I saw that they got the exclusive for Nigeria, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna ride with them. I'm glad we're beyond that now. Hopefully they don't get any more, because they've had a lot of opportunities to build that relationship with Archwell, and they've tanked them all. Hi, Andrea Elaney. I hope that's Elaine or Elaney. Andrea says, Sharion, you are getting your tongue roll well. Your words in Spanish is nice. Thank you. I was practicing some of that. If you didn't see me on camera with the headers, then it was AI. And one of them, I think it was like Universidad, and then it was a lot. And then I just said, I just let AI have it. Take it away. Because I knew I wasn't going to do it justice. Now, I tried on the ones that I could at least get some semblance of what it sounded like. I gave it my best shot. But some of those are still defeating me, but that's just the challenge. So I can't wait for 1 year from today. Let me not say that because I'm going to have to hold myself to it. 1 year, August 20th, 2025, I better be able to come back here and have a conversation in Spanish. That's my goal. I'm going to start January 1 speaking Spanish or doing my Pimsleur Spanish. Best wishes to me. Hi, Black Queen. Black Queen says, it's being reported that Harry and Meghan's dance and kiss has gone viral. Also, dance studios are seeing an uptick in people signing up for dance classes. Our power couple spreading joy everywhere. That is beautiful. I'm not surprised. But that is so beautiful. And I'm not shocked. I have not been able to open an app without seeing them dancing. And believe me, it's not a problem. I stop and I watch. I act like I'm Meghan's auntie. I'm younger than Meghan, and I'm like, look at you go, girl. I know that's right. Like she one of my nieces. But no, I really do watch them now in like it's good to see you doing well, baby. Like an old auntie who was just waiting on you to figure it out because I know what they've been through. And I'm so glad to see that they're able to just exist in harmony and peace. It's long overdue. They never should have had to exist outside of that. But I'm so glad that not only were they able to overcome, but they're able to set an example of what it looks like on the other side of healing and peace. So many people get stuck in that survival stage. So many people you meet and they'll be like 40 years in the same phase of life being like, yeah, well, I couldn't do this because such and such did that to me and this happened and this experience. And they never are able to gain control for one reason or another. And it's great to see what happens when you are diligent and you push through and you really do. You come through for yourself because you deserve it. You deserve it. It's really hard to let some of those grudges go. It's hard to let, not that they were holding grudges, but when people go through things, sometimes it's hard for them to recover because it's hard to let those grudges go. Sometimes you just want someone to validate you. And when you don't get that, you can get stuck pleading your case in every phase, every place in your life, hoping that someone validates you so you can move on. And once you grasp the fact that you just have to take control, validate yourself, know that you didn't do anything wrong or that you were in control to change your narrative and take that control and use it, you're just so much better off on the other side. I have been in that phase where people have wronged me or someone has like done something catastrophic to me and I kind of got stuck, and I would have benefited greatly. Not that I'm happy they went through that, but I would have benefited greatly if at that time in my life, had I been able to see how Harry and Meghan have survived and then thrived, that would have definitely motivated me to see what that looks like, because I went through that not knowing what was on the other side. I didn't know that if I heal through this, will I have a whole meltdown? Well, what will happen? And it can get tough because you can really get stuck in that phase of life. So it's really great to see not only did they never get stuck in that, they knew that wasn't about them. They knew that the stuff that happened to them did not define them. But not only that, they had a vision for what was to come and they saw it through. I hope more people can see that because we don't have a lot of examples of that. A lot of stories of that nature end in tragedy, i.e. Princess Diana. So we've seen how bad it can get. I'm just glad they had each other and not only were able to get away and get to safety, but that they are able to thrive and create a whole new life and a whole new definition of what it means to be a royal. Because with every one of these moves, they're not even affiliated with them in that way anymore. Their work is on behalf of Archwell Foundation and the Invictus Games Foundation. And it's no longer on behalf of the crown. But if they can do all this and do it this well, there is zero excuses for the rest of them. And that's what they're really mad about. But it sure is good to see Harry and Meghan setting the standard. Hi, April Jones. April Jones says, videos from this trip are very interesting. Many years ago, I worked with a lady from Colombia, and she said she never saw Black people until she was in the U.S. What? Now, April, who was this person? Now, I know, April, me and you probably had the same face. Now, girl, you ain't seen no Black people. Anyway, well, it's great that Vice President Marquez is there as an example of what it looks like when everyone has an opportunity, because she is their first Black vice president. So now no one can have that experience. But April, I know you were probably side-eyeing like, now, girl, no Black people anywhere in Colombia, ever. Even I know that. Come on now. Anyway, you know, that's something that's said in a lot of different places. I've heard that before a couple of times. I think that's so interesting that people have that experience. That's terrible, but I'm so glad that she was able to meet some black people. If she don't know no black people, send her a link to my channel. I'm not in Colombia, I'm America, but I'm black. So I'll be your first black visual representation lady. Can't believe she said that. I know you side-eyed her. Now that's funny. That is funny. Hi, Marsha Williams. Marsha Williams says, Vice President, my friend Meghan absolutely endeared herself to the people speaking Spanish. She did. She really did. Both of them did. They did such a great job. And I saw the quote earlier, or saw the comment earlier. Someone said for Harry to try to speak Spanish and speak Spanish, but knowing it wasn't something he was great at and still try publicly, that was very brave. I agree. I think that's so endearing. When I got to Germany, I was still very early in my language learning journey. And so I was just greeting everybody with Guten Tag. It's evening time. I'm Guten Tag. And then finally somebody was like, Guten Abend. And I was like, Guten Abend. And so then I started to learn. And then I met someone for the first time and I was like, Guten Morgen. And she was like, Good morning. And I said, Wie geht es Ihnen? And she was like, Es geht mir gut, danke. Like she seemed surprised, and I was like, danke. I was so nervous. Now, here's the thing. Speaking to other people in my little language learning group, we're all English speakers, so we really not going to know too much more than the other people. We're just all working together to try to learn and get better in our German. But speaking to a German in Germany, I was sweating, little edges snatching all the way back. I was just like, oh my God, they're going to throw me out the country and be like, girl, you were born here? You don't sound like it. Like, and my mom's German. When she speaks German, she sounds so much better than me. I was trying. I was just like, I didn't even want to speak. I sound like a little mouse. I was like, good night. So nervous. I just don't ever want to be disrespectful. And everybody think Americans are disrespectful. So I was like, I don't want them thinking I came over here to show out. I don't need to be getting curb stomped at the airport and sent home with a black eye. I just want them to know I'm trying. And so I actually learned a lot while I was there too. The bartender actually spoke with me back and forth. And so whenever I would know a few, whenever I get to my limit and I didn't know the rest of the sentence or something, I would be like, no ambition, like just a little, not a lot. Like, and he was like, oh, okay. And then he would help me. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, Pimsleur has really helped me. I was using it throughout the trip. When I wanted to say something, I would listen to that in my lesson and then I would say it. And it was very helpful. I mean, I was ordering food in German. After a while, like day 3, I was good. I was ordering everything. I was like, you want some eggs? And I'll get right on the phone and speak. I was like, okay, I got this. But language learning can be fun. It doesn't have to be tough. And it is endearing when you are in someone's country, at least making an attempt to try. One of the things that bothers me is how a lot of times, myself included, a lot of times when Americans are bilingual, we get a lot of praise. And it's difficult to speak 2 languages. And when Americans learn 2 languages, it's easy, or British people learn 2 languages. It's obvious to recognize, like, that's a feat. You did a great job. That's quite a commitment. And what a great job. What a skill to have. But a lot of people come to America and learn English. They come to the UK and learn English. A lot of people know Igbo and English. A lot of people know, Spanish and English. A lot of people know Mandarin and English, and they don't really get the shine. Nobody actually recognizes it. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when other people, immigrants, come to America, a lot of times when they speak their native tongue, whether they're bilingual or not, a lot of times people will say, speak English. And I'm like, listen, you got an opportunity to learn from this person and you trying to be hateful. That's what you get. So anyway, it's a sign of respect when you not only learn, obviously when you're going to go to Colombia, when you're going to go to Germany, when you're going to go anywhere, Ukraine, when you're going to go to these places to learn a little bit. Harry does that every time when he's giving his speeches at the Invictus Games, wherever they're located, part of his speech is in that language. I remember him speaking German and he sounded good. He sounded really good. He always does that. It's a great show of respect. But also I appreciate that the people in those countries they receive the sign and the show of respect, and they don't like bite back at people the same way sometimes Americans can do. I think Americans can learn, and I'm an American, but I think a lot of us can learn a thing or two about respect and welcoming people the right way, because sometimes we can be a little not all of us. The same people who oppress the rest of us oppress people who come here. So I think there's something to be learned in how not only Harry and Meghan ventured to Colombia and to Nigeria and to Canada, how they presented themselves when they visited. But I think there's something to learn about how those places treated them when they welcomed them in. I said the same thing when I was talking about day 4. I said, I don't want anyone else to invite Harry and Meghan anywhere if you're not going to follow Vice President Marquez's blueprint, because this is how you bring someone to your country. This is how you show someone a good time and you welcome someone. She was so hospitable. And it wasn't just her, it was everybody. Everybody. I love the videos of Meghan with the elders and with the little girl with the glasses. Oh my goodness. They just, they look so happy. Uh-oh. Now what have I missed? Okay. Jeanette Williams says, in Brazil, I learned Portuguese. In Togo, I learned French. Okay, Jeanette, I have a question because I was talking to this guy at Shima. He was my waiter at Shima in Orlando or Fort Lauderdale. And we were just chatting. And as a matter of fact, me and my husband were speaking a little bit of our German. And he was like, oh, you speak German? And I said, yeah, define speak. Right now, we're stumbling through it. But we're getting there. And he was like, is it hard? And I said, no, it's a lot of memorizing. You know, it goes against how I was taught to say words. That's really the hard part. Memorizing the words is not that hard. Memorizing placement of words in a sentence, that's not that difficult. It's easy to remember. But I will say, my tongue don't want to do that. Like even with like when I was reading the Spanish words, I appreciate you reminding me to roll my R's because I'm like, my tongue don't want to do that. It told me that's wrong. I'm supposed to pronounce my R like a good old country Texan. Like with palenque was the example I used, but like some of the words that I was reading, I was like, that's not what my mouth wants to do. It's just, so that's the part that's kind of, it can be daunting, but once you get it, you get it. And so we were talking and he said, I told him, I said, you know, what's funny is my instructor always reminds me, if you can speak English, you can speak any other language. And the reason is most times because English is a very hard language to learn if you are not an English speaker, because we have so many different facets to our language and our regions that change greatly. So much of the English language changes. And so much of it is, I forgot the word, but it's based on other factors. So one sentence in this town might not mean the same thing there. So it's really relative and it can be difficult. So you've already done the hard part. Now learning anything else should be easy peasy. And so he says that to motivate us, and his instructing assistant says that to motivate us. So I was telling this this guy Shima, and he goes, well, Portuguese is actually the hardest language to learn. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, because there's a lot of words that are only in Portuguese. They don't translate to anything else. So it'll be really hard to communicate with someone if they know Portuguese and you're learning Portuguese. They might not be able to fill in the gaps, and neither can you. So you might be stuck. And I was so intrigued by that. I added Portuguese to my list of languages to learn. So 2026, I'm going to start Portuguese. But is it really difficult? You learn Portuguese and French. You're clearly writing in English. So out of all 3 languages, is Portuguese the hardest? Let me know, Jeanette. That's interesting. Oh, Claudia Sims. Hi, Claudia. Claudia Sims says, do you think the UK is going to try and invite them to get some of their shine? I don't know if this question was for me, but I want to answer it because that's interesting. I think the UK should invite them, but I think they need to invite them once they've righted a lot of wrongs. I think they need to take a beat, get off their high horse, do what's right by Harry and Meghan as family. And then I think they could have a beautiful moment when they pull together. And they're never going to admit they were wrong. That's out the window. But in my perfect world, they would admit they were wrong and do right by them. But I bet they will at some point extend a real olive branch and do right by them. I think seeing the global support, because at the end of the day, the royal family, they're clout chasers. Like they're just trying to stay relevant. And with the world validating Harry and Meghan, because Harry and Meghan validated Harry and Meghan and the world catching up, I think that the UK will say, okay, we need to reclaim what's ours. I don't think they'll ever get them back, but I do think if they really wanted to get some of that shine, they would do right by them as family and then invite them. But who knows? I just don't have a lot of faith in them royals to do right. It's just too much history of them doing wrong. They are constantly finding themselves on the wrong side of right. I just don't see them turning it around now. But I'm interested. Oh, hi, Hazel Jones. Thank you for joining. I used to have a really good friend in college named Hazel Jones. Okay, I'm trying to get to the questions. This chat is moving so quick. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Hi, Be Strong. Be Strong says, learning other languages incorporates learning about different cultures. It helps to understand their mindset and thought process. That is absolutely right. Thank you for bringing that up. That is absolutely right. I tried to make some rouladen because I had it in Germany and my mom makes it every New Year's Day. And I tried to make some rouladen. So I'm still incorporating myself into the German culture. It didn't turn out right. I ended up just getting rid of the sauce and then recooking the steak. It ended up being a good meal, but it was not rouladen. So I have to try again. And my mom, she hasn't had time to come up and teach me her recipe, but I tried to learn rouladen from a recipe book and it just did not go well. That's probably something I should have tried to make in Germany to really get a good lesson, or had a chef or somebody teach me in Germany and take a class, but it didn't work out. Didn't work out. Next time. Church Nelly says, I'm so craving some nacho covered in salsa right now. And I don't mean for that comment to just jump out at me. What is going on in the chat? What is going on in the chat? Okay. But no, I really appreciate you guys for all of your positive and colorful compliments of my Spanish. I know that y'all are just being very kind because it didn't sound that great, but I thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to get great eventually, but thank you for that. I've decided that whenever it comes to Spanish, until I learn, whenever it comes to Spanish, I'm going to act demure so that more people, they think I'm just shy. They won't know that it's a language barrier. They'll think I'm shy. I'm just going to be like, gracias. And I'll say it low and quick so they don't realize I didn't say it right. They'll just be like, oh yeah, she speaks Spanish. She just shy. Ooh, she's shy. I'm going to try to spin it to my narrative, but we shall see. Hi, Jeanette Williams. Jeanette Williams says, immersed in the culture is helpful. Sometimes using gestures, little Spanish to explain, help build vocabulary along with a Portuguese dictionary. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. That makes sense. Wow. Okay. So whenever I'm going to save this, so whenever I start learning Portuguese, I know who to go to. Thank you so much, Jeanette. So I have talked y'all's ear off. I am not going to hold y'all anymore. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. I know we went 30 minutes over. If you have not already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to become a member. And if you feel so inclined, share the channel or videos from the channel because I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. Now, I don't know if we'll get there. Me and YouTube, we was tussling this year. So it was about 3 months of no activity. So, and I was, pushing the podcast, which a new episode of the podcast comes out tomorrow. But aside from that, I'm trying to get back on track and get to 50,000 subscribers. So hit your girl up. Try to help me out if you can. I really appreciate everything y'all have done for us. Oh, now what's going on in the chat for real? Thank you so much, Monticello. Sharion, you are funny and beautiful. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, y'all. I am about to get out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching and listening, subscribing, sharing, being a part of my journey. I really appreciate it. Sussex Style comes out tomorrow. We're about to talk about every single outfit from both Harry and Meghan, and as much information as I can get from Vice President Francia Marquez on her outfits. I'm going to get that too. We're about to have a blast. I want to talk about the jewelry, the hair, the makeup, the everything, the shoes. If I can even look at the footsteps, I'm trying to get everything I can from this Sussex Style because this blew me away. So we have a lot to talk about tomorrow. I hope y'all are excited and ready, and I will see y'all next time. Bye. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the SharionSade podcast. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the SharionSade podcast.